It's October, so happy spooky season to you all. For most of us here, I imagine this meme is pretty fitting. You've maybe seen this before. It's been making the rounds across the internet for years, and its origin has always kind of bothered me, so I decided to figure it out once and for all. So if you don't know, the little hottie on the left is Linnea Quigley, and the big hotties on the right belong to Delia Sheppard, so that's a good place to start. And if you do a little research, you'll find people say this image is from a film called Sexbomb from 1989. Which makes sense since that's the only film they were in together, as far as I can tell. But I was never satisfied with that origin story because in that film, Delia's hair is much different and neither her nor Linnea wear these outfits in the film. Granted, it looks like a behind-the-scenes shot, so the outfits aren't necessarily anything that would be in the movie, but the hair kept me skeptical. So I started to dig. And I hit pay dirt. This image first appeared in the fall of 1992 issue of a magazine called Femme Fatales, which had an article based on an interview with Delia Sheppard. So, origin mystery solved, but now there's a new mystery. Under the image, it says our ladies are reunited in the naked and the nude. So, the image isn't from Sexbomb, just like I thought, but Sheppard and Quigley aren't in the naked and the nude because that movie doesn't exist. So what's going on? Well, earlier in the article, it says that film is also known as Rock and Roll Detective. So, new mystery solved. But that movie doesn't exist either. However, that is the alternate title of a film which does exist called The Adventures of Ford Fairlane with shock comedian Andrew Dice Clay. And Delia Sheppard is in that film. So, new mystery solved for real. The meme is from an article by Ted Newsom for the Femme Fatales magazine based on his chat with Delia Sheppard on the set of The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Whew. Except Linnea Quigley is not in that film, so there's still a bit of mystery there. I imagine her part got cut. And so they were not reunited in that film, but let's check out the film they were together in, Sexbomb. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Sexbomb from 1989. This film is a satire of low-budget horror film production starring Danish goddess Delia Sheppard and Scream Queen legend Linnea Quigley, who was last on the channel in Return of the Living Dead. The premise of this movie, murderous shenanigans happening on a low-budget film set, sounds a lot like another satirical film, Hollywood Boulevard, which pokes fun at Roger Corman movies, and I like that movie a lot. So let's see how this satire does with a horror setting. After some leopard skin credits, we open on a topless Linnea Quigley, so right away, we've got some perky stuff you can't see here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. A masked guy chases her around and then cut. Yep, we're watching a low-budget horror film production. And here's the producer. That's not Albert Finney, but close enough. The director of this Vine Picture show gets into an argument with close enough Albert Finney. And it's pretty funny.
Look at this set.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It looks too damn good. That means you spent too much money on it.
The technical consultant gets fired. He'll be back later. He's our main character. In the meantime, we meet Mrs. Close Enough Albert Finney. That's Delia Sheppard here playing Candy. She puts the moves on our technical consultant, and he immediately goes to the craft services table for some apples.
They're not apples, but they're round.
After eating fruit salad, Candy lets it be known that she wants her husband dead.
You're a naughty girl.
But our guy is not willing to help.
I'm not going to help you kill your husband.
Why not?
Let's see if I can make you understand. To me, murder is a spectator sport.
The technical consultant gets rehired, this time to be a scriptwriter for Close Enough Albert Finney's new production, Werewolves in Heat. And in the 2 days he has to write that, Candy tries a few more times to rope him into killing her husband. And that's pretty much the film. There are a few surprises here and there, but for the most part, Candy wants close enough Albert Finney dead, she wants the writer to help, and they fall in bed a few times. Let's talk some highlights. Delia Sheppard. Wow, she is a statuesque beauty who looks to be about 7 foot tall. The kind of woman you have to go up on.
Wow.
And she's not a bad actor, so I'm not sure why she isn't a much bigger name. Also, Linnea Quigley is here, and she's fun, as usual. The movie itself starts off pretty funny. The whole opening scene and argument between the director and close enough Albert Finney is great, and they get in a few decent jokes about low-budget filmmaking.
Faraday International Pictures has her under contract for 6 films. Or 6 weeks, whichever comes first.
I even like some of the smaller touches, like Linnea Quigley keeping her gum on the boom mic. But that's about it for the good. Like a writer climbing a statue, this film has some shortcomings. Well, the logline of this film promises, a low-budget film producer begins shooting his next 2 epics. What he doesn't know is that his sexy young wife wants him dead and plans to use the films as a cover to do it. But that's not really the plot of this movie. It's close, but the wife doesn't use the films as cover. Not really. I expected her to try to exploit the dangers of low-budget filmmaking, make it look like an accident due to incompetent filmmakers and whatnot. That could have made for some fun digs at low-budget horror films, but that's not the story. She doesn't use the film production, she tries to convince one of the crew members to help her, and her convincing takes the form you might expect: nakedness and horizontal favors.
What's wrong with that?
And that's a much less interesting story, and one that does not lend itself well to satirizing film production. In fact, aside from the pretty good opening scene, the film doesn't spend much time with film production at all. We're in the producer's house, the wife's bedroom, the writer's office, but these are all boring locations that don't lend themselves to jokes about low-budget filmmaking. And that was disappointing. I wanted a horror version of Hollywood Boulevard, not the same old, tired story of femme fatale uses her body to convince someone to commit murder, with a low-budget horror set merely as a setting. Beyond that, the film does have some other issues. For one, Linnea Quigley isn't in this as much as we would like, and the comedy surrounding her manager/guru just isn't funny. For another, the pacing is terrible. It slows way down in Act 2. In fact, it grinds to a halt at one point so the film can show us a terrible music video. It's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, but it's not funny, and the music is terrible. In fact, not much about this movie is funny. It starts off good, and then goes bad and stays bad. So, if you want to watch a funny satire of low-budget filmmaking, watch Hollywood Boulevard. If you want to watch a great movie about a femme fatale convincing someone to kill, watch Double Indemnity. The only reason to watch Sexbomb is to see Delia Sheppard's sex bombs.